Hello everyone, my name is Luka, and I'm a tour guide from Slovenia. I specialize in adventure tourism, guiding people through the beautiful landscapes of my country, from the majestic Julian Alps to the turquoise rivers of the Soča Valley. Today, I want to talk about my experience with learning English and how it's become a vital part of my life and career. As a tour guide, my job is to connect with people. I introduce them to the natural beauty of Slovenia, share the history and culture, and make sure they have an unforgettable experience. But several years ago, I realized something. If I wanted to connect with visitors from around the world, I needed to improve my English. At first, I wasn't sure where to begin. I had learned some basic English in school, but it wasn't enough to explain the story behind Lake Bled or describe the thrill of rafting on the Soča River. My sentences felt clumsy, and I often struggled to find the right words. So, I decided to treat learning English as an adventure, just like climbing a mountain. You don't reach the summit in one step. It takes planning, perseverance, and a willingness to face challenges. The first step in my journey was listening. I started listening to travel podcasts and YouTube videos in English. Hearing native speakers talk about tourism and adventure gave me a sense of how the language is used in real conversations. I'd replay certain parts to catch phrases like hidden gem or breathtaking view and practice saying them myself. Reading was my next focus. I wanted to be able to describe Slovenia's landscapes and traditions in a way that would captivate my guests. So, I began reading travel blogs, guidebooks, and even novels in English. One book that really inspired me was Into the Wild by Jon Krakauer. It's about adventure and self-discovery, themes that resonate deeply with me. Writing was another important part of my learning process. I started by keeping a travel journal in English. Each day, I would write about the tours I led, the places we visited, and the reactions of my guests. It wasn't perfect, but it helped me organize my thoughts and practice using new vocabulary. Speaking was, of course, the biggest challenge. I was nervous about making mistakes, especially in front of my guests. But I realized that the only way to improve was to practice. I began by practicing with my colleagues, many of whom were also learning English. We would roleplay as tour guides and guests, practicing common phrases and situations. For example, I'd pretend to explain the legend of the wishing bell at Lake Bled or give safety instructions for a hiking trip. One thing that helped me a lot was learning storytelling techniques. As a tour guide, it's not just about giving information, it's about making people feel something. I practiced telling stories about Slovenia's history, legends, and culture in English. Over time, I noticed that my guests were more engaged, asking questions, and sharing their own stories in return. One of the most memorable moments in my English journey happened during a tour with a group of American visitors. At the end of the day, one of them said, "You're a great storyteller, Luka. You really brought this place to life for us." That comment meant the world to me and gave me the confidence to keep going. Learning English has also allowed me to connect with people from all over the world. I've had conversations with guests from Australia, Canada, India, and so many other countries. Each conversation has taught me something new, not just about English, but about their cultures and perspectives. One unexpected benefit of learning English is that it's deepened my appreciation for my own country. When I describe the beauty of Triglav National Park or the history of Ljubljana Castle, it reminds me of how lucky I am to call Slovenia home. For anyone learning English, my advice is this: treat it like an adventure. Don't be afraid to take small steps and celebrate every milestone, whether it's learning a new word or having your first conversation. And remember, mistakes are part of the journey. They're like the bumps on a hiking trail. They make you stronger and bring you closer to your goal. I write down useful English phrases, interesting facts about Slovenia, and even questions I can ask my guests. It's my way of staying prepared and continuing to learn. Learning English has been one of the most rewarding adventures of my life. It's not just about words and grammar, it's about connection, curiosity, and growth. Whether you're learning English for work, travel, or personal reasons, I encourage you to embrace the journey and enjoy every step. Thank you for listening to my story. If you're learning English, I'd love to hear about your own adventure. Let's inspire each other to keep climbing to new heights.